magic start button. Go to there. Right. I wanted to do this earlier, but I didn't. So I hope all is well with you. I did pull one card earlier on to read on for the week. We're going to have you come and say hi now, are you? Okay, you want to say hi to people? You want to say hi to Mummy? You're going to be a good boy. You want cuddles? Come on, out of the way, you're right in shot. Cuddles? We can cuddle while we do it. So the one card I pulled earlier in Telegram, which I didn't do a read on, I thought I would wait until I was in here. There we go. Is Living from the Heart, Fire Snake. Now, before I read what the book says, instantly that says it's our fire, it's our passion, it's our creativity, it's the divine flame energy that's needed for this week. Creative juices flowing, allowing that to come out in you. Where is your fire? What burns? What do you burn for? What ignites you? What lights you up? Would be what I would say in terms of the element as well. It's the heart element, so it's connected to the heart space. So heart movements. It's number 54, and I went to write down and I thought, oh, 5 and 4, that's a 9 energy. It's the energy of the 9. I'm feeling that has significance, which bless me, I will look up while we're live, but I just will read you what it says before I pull a couple from each of these ones that I felt drawn to for this week. 54. Living with the heart, or living from the heart, sorry. The fire snake pillar contains double yin fire, as associated with joy and the heart. Like the flickering flame of a candle, the heart has its highs and its lows, such as in unpredictability, changing nature, and yin fire. The snake as a yin fire sign and a travel star interstellar fights the role of heart as a change agent in the fire snake pillar. So fire, especially yin fire, is the most powerful element that can change lives in an instant. This card highlights the transformation quality of yin fire in igniting the heart to turn passion into purpose. What comes from the heart gives us fuel for courage and selflessness actions that can inspire others to change for good. Being in tune with the heart is especially critical to our well-being in the age of 9. Oh wow, yeah, in the age of 9. So between 2024 and 2044, which holds promise. That's why I picked up on the 9 then. Okay, good to know that I see something, what was coming through, which holds promise of hopes. Promises of hopes, expansiveness, and elevated consciousness to those who embrace the qualities of the divine feminine, the yin, and live from the heart, sharing their light and restoring Mother Earth and her continuance closer to balance after decades of too much yang that emphasizes external achievements, ego-based actions, and constant busyness. Now, I said in when I pulled the card, I did a little at the same time in my Patreon, I'd said the last few days, as it's the full moon tomorrow, and I'm kind of reading for the full moon, reading for this week, quite significant. It's in Leo, and I'm a rising Leo, so I can understand where that fire spark is coming from. I will continue to read, but what I wanted to say is what I sensed, and I said, and now I'm understanding why. is I said, I feel like I'm going through an ego death, and I've been saying about this for a while. Like even with the fact that I got hair on the tongue, it's like on the tip of the tongue, they're like, do I want to know what's right? Just expressing, do I need to express this? That kind of mind self-analysis of self and understanding that it's beyond me, as you were, and it's always been there in the background, but this is more than that. It's more like a depth of readdressing who do I be, rewriting the script of everything I do. I've been questioning like how I do things, even the structures, for a while, so it's feeling like that's important as well, for not just me but for everyone. So perhaps it's that sense of it yearns for joy and excitement. It naturally wants to expand and shine. Allow the heart to take center stage and follow its lead. Do more with what excites you, and less with what or who contracts. It recognizes the moment that heart leaps with joy as the spark that can turn into the flame and return to the moment. Whenever fearful thoughts take over, the heart prefers to give and receive love in all its forms. It reminds me, I just went to a really lovely meeting with Tea with the Goddess, and they were talking about the maiden, and it reminds me of a lot of the qualities they were talking about. So the fire snake wants you to listen to the call of the heart. So actions of the ego and the constant busyness is kind of be damned. It's moved past what's very much of the 3D world as we think about it. Like you have a 9 to 5, or you have to work to earn, to do that busyness of having to do things. It's the opposite of that. It's knowing, well, what does the soul want me to do today? What does my heart say is right? Which has been kind of downplayed for a while, because it's like, well, I can hear like words being told to me like, oh no, the airy fairy stuff. No, the airy fairy stuff is what is leading people, those passions that are driving people. And if they're in alignment with your heart, then, and in service, then that's the key. So the message from the heavens is identifying your joy, triangle, life's little pleasures that turn on the fire within, so you can access and share your light with those who need help finding their own. And the strong yin fire, so the message from the earth element here is containing in the cards, urges you to follow what excites your heart, but be patient, as excitement can come and go. It's up and down. It's kind of there. It's a flutter sometimes. Let your passions lead you to new adventures and joys, but obviously also listen to the stillness in that. Listen to when you're not hearing that as much as when it's there is important. And just because it's not, oh, this is like not exciting me, doesn't mean it's not valid. But it does mean that maybe this is more of a slow burny thing that you need to kind of allow the sparks and look to how you can ignite what it is. So fire snake, and as it's said about the 9, I find that things, I was going to look up what does the numerology, let's go page, my keyboard, which is hidden over here, So 9 is the last of a single digit number, which are known as cardinal numbers in numerology, and the highest in value. The 9 shows your lived and learned. So if this is for life path number, you've engaged with living your life in a meaningful, conscious manner, and you're setting rewarding goals. I just want the meaning of 9. What else does it say on 9? Obviously the Council of 9 comes to mind for me. 9 is very important in science and numerology. The energy meaning of each 3 number is different. So whether we see them in our numerology charts or wonder why they keep reappearing in our lives, it's important to know that they mean so we can understand the message they are sending us. The 9, the very last of the numbers, has a long journey and now shines its light of love and divine wisdom into the world. So 9 significant for this week. The energy represents completion, but not finality. Think of it more in a cycle. So I mean, we're coming to the end of the week, aren't we? Secular sense about the ending of one cycle and the potential it creates around another cycle to begin. The 9 acts as an ushering in the procession and transition of transformation, guiding and empowering us into its wisdom. It absorbs answers from spiritual source, then delivers them to us in real world. Humanitarianism at heart. So this is saying that this week we will see tremendous amounts of this humanitarianism. It's compassion, it's kind intent on putting its efforts towards creating the greatest good, which is what I'm always calling in for all of us. Numerology has gone through its fair share of hardships and wiser, stronger and more aware of the results. The first-hand experience make it especially understanding of others who are struggling and willing to provide value for support. Strengths of the 9 is awakening. There's an awakening happening, as we all know. Tolerance and support. The weaknesses for this week is restfulness, sacrificing and suffering. So it's saying that, and I'm hearing now, I'm kind of feeling into what calling had from that card. The suffering will enact an awakening. The call is for us to be supportive and tolerant, and those aspects, when there's tolerance and supportiveness, will help with the suffering and the sacrifice that those who have signed up, if you like, for soul contract for the purpose of awakening. There's a sense of restfulness. They will be able to rest when that tolerance and support comes through. That's what I'm hearing, which is obviously nothing to do with what I'm reading, but those words felt important. So let's pull one of each, is what I wanted to do for this week. That felt quite collective consciousness. Now let's specifically for this week, what do we need to know for the highest good to help with guidance? That one, no, that one from the bottom. Air Dragon helps you ride above earthly matters, communicate honesty and bring inspiration and hope, and see life from higher perspective. Well, I was feeling into the fact that we're being asked all the time now to see things from the highest perspective. Let's pop those there. We'll reread on those each, but I want to pull each of them and see how they relate from the pack. From the Divine Feminine, which is kind of guiding us a little bit at the moment, I feel more so now, is definitely more present. What is there to know? What do we need? I don't think that's me to spread them out. Okay. Doesn't want that one. No. Too heavy. That's the one. So, put them next to each other. Sorry, I didn't show you them, did I? That's that one. The air card. And forgive me if I'm mispronouncing this. Yashi Toshgola. Lady of the Lotus born, embodiment in the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment, physical enlightenment, the physical embodiment. And from Keepers of the Light, from our help from the ancestors, I'm going to put these book under there because I like to skim read at least. So, from our soul family, star beings, keepers of those that holding the light, what is it we need to know to help us in our journey this week? Horus. Horus. Cosmic gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful, and miraculous changes are coming. So these are the 3 that we've just pulled. Let's read more in depth, and of course the first one, which was the snake, fire snake. So I'm going to start with air dragon, and I'm just going to start with what I'm feeling into before we read through. So Horus is the gateway, and obviously Lady Lotus is saying embodiment of the deepest bliss. My body was made for this enlightenment. It's gateway for our own enlightenment this week. Your thoughts are magnetic, so keeping your focus. Magnetical power for miraculous changes are occurring, and I'm seeing that. We all, I'm sure, if you may or may not be aware of the fact that scientists are all getting up in their things about the fact that our magnetic field is changed, it's shifted. This is part of the natural cosmic cycles, but also part of the ascension. So when we talk about grounding, if you like, and grounding to the earth, our body and its magnetics, just like the earth has the iron, and it creates this field that goes up through the poles, round and down and up and around. So it goes like this. We have the same thing, and the iron in our blood helps with that. So it's important for us to be connected with the ground. That's why science and stuff is reading into this from grounding and our barefoot on the grass, etc, etc, etc. So I'm not talking about anything that you guys have probably not heard before, but what is shifting is the magnetics and how that is affecting our body. And some of us are feeling that, and with the full moon as well, that's the other thing, feeling it quite viscerally in the body. So to embody that on the deepest form of bliss is to actually allow that feeling to become your natural state of being, and kind of allowing yourself to go beyond the fear of it as well. Your body is made for it. So yes, you might be feeling it in the density of the shifts coming up, and how we breathe into that, the air, will help with us on a physical level. So that, in a sense, of this is a cosmic gateway for us to do that. We've got a time that this is heightened. It's easier than ever for our thoughts now to be positive affirmations, whatever it is you're working with, to allow your field to be cleared, for your auric field to clear out any density within those sort of layers, if you like, and rebalance. So allow yourself to keep that story, that power point in your moment of being who you are already. Air Dragon helps you rise above the earthly matters, and it's, like I said, awakening tolerance, supportiveness, and that it's seeing the suffering and the sacrifice. It's not, okay, I'm going to bury my head in my sand because it's going to interfere with my vibes. It's actually understanding that witnessing and releasing the desire for the shift, and then allowing consciously I don't want that to be the case. So I'm going to see in my mind's eye and hold my focus collectively with groups as people are coming together in this. And that's also that air, is to rise above those earthly masses, but communicating honestly. So saying out loud, okay, I feel this, but I am open and receptive to this. Bringing inspiration and help. I said help actually, and it says hope. That actually when we demonstrate that this stuff is possible, that if someone's in a lower density experience, that gives us, it becomes the 4-minute mile. It becomes the, oh, if that person's capable of doing this, if they can align their energy as that in that way, then why can't I? Why not me? And seeing life from that higher perspective, when you take it to that higher level and you start to go, yeah, this is clearing quickly. If everyone's going, oh, this is clearing quickly, it creates these fields of collective consciousness for that to happen, for the support on an energetical level to allow that rest from, and I'm seeing images of like all of these kind of souls that have been through that going up, and their collective consciousness is seeping in and down and through, and divine sparking to reenact. So throughout the challenges that's been endured, it's a call for mindset that life to put more importance on the times of struggle, of ease and tolerance relationships that are balanced ones. The more 9 aspects is hardships, it's more regular it may become. So for that not to be the norm or the expectation, fulfilling responsibility by being there in a capacity for those who need it, the sacrificial mindset, it's so forced on caring for others that is neglected to care for itself. So allowing ourselves to look, if we demonstrate, if our cup is full and that is overflowing, then with that energy is able to spill out, and it's contagious. It's you feel it when you feel someone speaking. I'm like, when I'm excited about stuff, that comes across. And I realized I had this recently. The last few days wasn't live, I wasn't present. I couldn't be. I had to be there for me. And it needs to be the death of that ego, to be there for myself. I had to let my ego to be self-sacrificing die completely, and allow my thoughts to just think, okay, I have the power to change this and what is occurring to me. So I'm going to read anything else that's coming. So I'm seeing the circle, the cycles, the bird's eye view. Horus is Isis lover as well, and that kind of feeling of the sun still coming in, although he's got the stars around him. Here she's got these floaty kind of wispy satiny fabrics as well, and I'm thinking it's that energy allowing things to float around you, allowing things and energy to wrap around you when you need it, and to not get tangled in others' energy that's kind of tying us up, and actually to cut that or to see through it, because it's thin, wispy, it's like covered our face and we can't quite see. So allow the clarity of that to go down and find what is our bliss. With my favourite Joseph Campbell quote, follow your bliss. Where's your bliss in life? By doing that and being that beacon in whatever way, and I'm not meaning that you go out and you start a charity, or maybe that is what you do, but little things make ripples. Lots and lots of little ripples will create lots and lots of waves, and that's what I'm seeing. Waves of light in the air, creating these ripples in frequency of that air dragon. It helps us to raise, helps the earthly matters, and it helps with communication and the airwaves of sound, actually helping as well in how we can communicate energetically, even though we're not present. So I'm going to read briefly what is said about this. So what we got, air dragon. Let's read. So it's 20. See what the book says. But that's what. Try not to read it first because it allows me not to be swayed then. 20, fourth dimension air dragons are blue, the colour of the sky, and fly lightly around us. Air is the element of communication, and these dragons help us to speak our truth. So I'm hearing also then, I'm here to speak our truth, but also hear others' truth. Listen to each side's truth as well. So a dialogue of communication within the relationships or collective, whatever, it's micro, macro. Also encourages us to breathe properly so that we inhale as much source energy as possible. So one of the things I've been doing as I go to sleep at night is breathing a lot slower. One of the things that they say for longevity is the slower you breathe, the longer you live. So sort of like this kind of breath, I'm meaning breathing in. And out. See how long that count was. It's easier to do when you're laying down and just before sleep, but starting to practice more of a 9-count breath if you do work out what your breath is. And I'm doing my breathwork coaching certificate at the moment, so I've been looking at how that affects us on a biological effects of that. And it's just that feeling the difference of when you're oxygenating everything and you're not in the fight or flight response, the sympathetic nervous system makes such a difference. Anyway, I'm digressing. So breathing, air dragon also, so it said about truth, what was I? So honest communication will bring pure white light into your aura, and when this happens, everybody will trust and respect you. Blue air dragons are supporting us as you rise above your challenges. They will help you say the most tactful and inspirational words and assist you to stand in your power with integrity. Breathe blue and white light into your heart center. Let's do that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Feeling that. And as air dragon appears in front of you, breathe the light over it. In this way, you are energized and motivated. It's so that you will always be connected to you. It's time to decide on your next step. So be clear about what you really want. Your air dragon will accompany you as you fly towards your chosen destiny. So, from Divine Feminine, we have a lady. Let's look up. It's quicker if we do it this way. Lady. Yes. 121. If you have these, it's page 121. She represents the deep wisdom that has been much misunderstood. She is the ultimate spiritual wisdom that the human body is all that is needed for enlightenment. Yeshi was born a priestess in Tibet in 777 CE. According to legends, she was born in the same way as Buddha. A mantra resounded, and her mother gave birth to Yeshi painlessly, her name meaning Wisdom Lake Queen, because at the moment of her birth, a nearby lake doubled in size, symbolizing her tremendous wisdom, her waters of enlightenment. From a young age, Yeshi only wanted to practice the dharmas instead of getting married, but the Emperor of Tibet gave her a Padmabhada, who had travelled to Tibet from India to spread the Buddhist teachings. He became her main consort and husband, and together they each founded their own lineages of Buddhism and teachings. She spent many years isolated and meditating, and accomplished several cycles of tantric spiritual practices. She receives esoteric initiations and became known as a fully enlightened Buddha in the form of an ordinary woman. She is also considered to be an incarnation of, I'm going to try and pronounce this. I'm going to spell it. It's Vajrayogini. Vajrayogi. Not sure how to pronounce that. The dyslexic one here says. And her husband predicted that she would reincarnate as the legendary Tibetan Buddhist tantric teacher and yogi Maggie Labrona. When your soul selects this card, it can be so easy to forget that everything we touch, everything we say, and everything we do is not separate from the divine. Yeshi embodied one of many potent spiritual truths. The female body is an asset of enlightenment, not of hindrance. The body is a vehicle to free us from the idea that there are any limitations to reality. Tantric, which weaves together the sacred and the mundane to reveal the spiritual nature of all things, allows Yeshi to realize that she was born an ordinary woman, an incarnation of the Buddha Vajrayogini. We are both human and divine. We are both a mortal body and an ethereal essence that continues on. The body too often can be the scapegoat for so much hate, distrust, and violence. The body holds infinite wisdom, pleasure, and possibilities. This is the moment to see your gorgeous body as the tremendous gift it is. It's the moment to realize that there is no greater intoxication than just being fully in your body from head to soul. So embodying that light in the physical. Yeshi is the call to remember the holiness of the flesh, the deep wisdom your body contains, and the temple you walk around every day. Your body is sacred, and treat it as such. In every act that you entail, it should be beautiful. So soul voice meditation is what helps me remember that my body is sacred. And the intention is embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made of and made for enlightenment. So, and Horus. Lovely Horus, one of my favourite. I love the Egyptians. I've got some Egyptian ones coming actually. Horus, where are you? I've learned to just look at the page numbers, I think now. 50. So Horus is the Egyptian eagle-headed god and son, twin flame of goddess Isis. He is known for his foresight, psychic awareness, and ability to travel between the worlds. He can help us move into the cosmos of our mind, meditation and prayer, so that we can harness the natural magic that surrounds us. He was known for ritual magic in the past, and now he helps create pockets of energy in the world where we can access light, wisdom, and insight. If you are seeing the symbol of the eye appearing around you, know that Horus is asking you to become aware of how you are influencing the energy around you and how it is, in turn, is influencing you. So I want to interject here before I read the next bit. Obviously, in the 12 weeks of transformation, we've been looking at our belief systems. I shared, oh gosh, actually, I'll probably still get it up here. She says, it doesn't just start playing, it sometimes does. So, oh no, I'll have to, it's going to want me to, what might do it? What is changed? So biology of belief, Bruce Lipton, there we go. Pause. Stop play. And looking at the neuroscience of our brain chemistry and how we can actually change. Now you might think, well, actually we look at the cards, we look at it because we want to know the future. Actually, I don't do it because I want to know the future. I don't share it because I believe that I'm sharing the future. I feel that we're tapping into the energies that are going to be affecting us, like it says, like pockets of accessibility in understanding of the pockets of our own subconscious energies and layers, like an onion of the mind. Now you could maybe even say that's like psychology. However you look at it, whether it's an archetypal energy, a layer of your psychology and psychological beliefs and mindsets that are going to influence your brain and therefore how you are influenced throughout this week. It's down to you. But what I would say is that we have the power to shift that. So to connect. You are connected to the universe. You connected to your subconscious. You are always connected to both. So have the ability to manifest miraculous experiences. Your thoughts, your words, your actions are like magnets, drawing the energy that creates and cultivates the world. You have a stellar gateway chakra above your head, a vortex of energy that influences you by your own energy. You can place ideas into the vortex to create what you want, seeking. The universe also offers you guidance, abundance, support, healing. The basis of your capabilities to connect to it and to accept it, you have the real opportunity to further that connection now by sending prayers, by sending intentions out into the cosmos, statements and statement of being, not in future tense, but in present tense, in statement of present tense. For example, hang on, I'm going to flip back to that number, to state that I feel that there will be no more sacrifice. There need not be any more sacrifice or suffering. I feel in this moment that tolerance and support is happening, and see it going there and see it happening, like in a visual of the world, and kind of reaching where it needs to, enacting that as a thing that's beyond your own life, but having ripples that will affect you as well. In all of those areas, that support will be there for you when you need it, that you have tolerance of others when you may be not feeling it, that you're awakening in your own, to your own suffering and your own sacrifice in your own life. And that is your enlightenment, wherever that is. It could be the physical pain in the body. What was the other one? The air. So your own frequency, your own breath. And allow yourself to breathe into the gateway of now. That's the living from the heart. Fire snake. So that's what's coming through. Okay. Is there anything else we need to share for this week? Any language you wish me to enact, to express? I'm thankful for all the wisdom I have that mirrors. Nia shulai tia no kueta. Ni khandho hindi no shkniai tuniai indiai tu akai anaknieta is etno ni aisk no all nai. Nitame kanurutishku. Indeed. India. Turashkai, which is my blood. Turashkanai, wisdom of my blood. And Tuniashkan, ancestry of my other line. Kunishkanai, Turushku, Holokunhiatanikrush, Tuniantakniata. Yesuro Kunchiasaha, the soul soup that is all of us. En knundi en knashkunia tata tu kunwai a knurti a khadia luhol kunya khata tik ai ul a kniat jetzt in knatush knai e klamiati hal knohosko etsen mediat na kia halotono it's kind niknetanus. Beliefs in the soup of the soul, I think I was hearing those words. And Tunisha, the eye of the heart, the eye of Horus. See with clarity of being, and that which is now. Sun into being. Ist usknaish akniatola aknit eknukoniatat okskaish ekhantorkintiatorak ilashkai akuntuknahata nichandulaknat. Feeling the heart, feeling the soul. Yeah, and just feeling the sense of the frequency, the rhythm of the sound that's expressed. Open and receptive of the truth through the heart of love and highest weaving through that which is my soul. Ayandora kinyata. As to you, ayata endona kinyata tuchkone ek isit ayushkoneka. Let the layers of deceit fall away. And yish and tantanita ushkantanist to become the soil for growth. In tunihatani kirtunonekia. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you. Love and blessings, and thank you for your time. Oh look, 4444. So I'm going to stop it with that, as I see that as a blessing from Look, I see 444 everywhere, but in our perfect 8 year, basically 8 for this year. And seeing that sense of balance again, being in your divine feminine and your divine masculine being important for all of us. Rest when you need to, take inspired action when it's inspired, be consistent and committed with that imperfect action, but allow it to be when you are from truth, from heart. And with that, I shall finish. Blessings for your day and your now moment. Please like if you feel that's resonated with you. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking and if that helps. Thank you for your time. Blessings.